steps.
It's really critically important now if a borrower, and we always recommend that a borrower be an educated one and shop and understand what it is that they're being told.
Right.
And because an educated consumer
understand the contracts.
That's right. Understand all that information, because on day one when you go and meet with a lender, they're going to ask you to sign a new document called that intent to proceed, where you're moving forward with that loan transaction.
Right.
And you need to have all of your documentation at that time. Your tax returns typically for 2 years, along with your W-2s, your pay stubs for the last 30 days, your bank statements.
Going real fast. Slow down, because I think that,
I learned from you.
But people are making we got to know exactly what people need to have in order to get. So the first process is really just a phone call.
Absolutely.
Right. That's the first step.
That's right.
Call Mike Mudry.
314-503-6024.
There you go. That's number 314-503-6024. And say, hey, I've got a house under contract now. We just wrote the contract over the weekend. We got accepted. What do I need to do? What are the first 3 steps that someone needs to do on that conversation?
If I had somebody that had a contract already and the clock was ticking, I would have a conversation with them, do quick pre-qualification over the telephone, ask them to go fill out an application on my website or do it right then over the phone, and then ask them to collect certain documentation and meet with me as soon as possible.
Do you need to get their Social Security number so you can run their credit?
Absolutely.
That's the first call.
Correct. Got to pull their credit as soon as possible.
And based on that first call, a guy says, I make $50,000. I'm going to borrow $5 million. Can he do that?
No.
But you're going to.
Sure. That's part of the phone conversation.
It's just like the first blush of qualification.
Right. If they tell me they make $50,000, I'm going to ask more questions. Are you salary? Are you hourly? Are you self-employed? Ask all those questions to nail a few things down.
Right. So that first conversation is going to let that person just kind of know that he's in a safe zone as far as his ability to finance that purchase. But then the real collection of documents starts. So the first 3 or 4 things that they need to do: pay stubs.
Correct, for the most recent 30 days.
Right.
Bank statements with all pages for probably 2 months.
For all accounts, not just one checking.
Doesn't have to be every account, but we always like to show that obviously you have enough money for your down payment and your closing costs, and then have money in reserves. Okay. That's an important piece of the approval process for an underwriter.
And so you're looking for written statements.
Correct.
Right. Okay, what's next?
Tax returns with all schedules with W-2s.
For how many years?
2 years.
2 years tax returns.
Not always, sometimes 1, but we always ask for 2 on the front end.
Okay.
With W-2s. So those are the main things.
And with those few documents, you can start the underwriting process. And if you have all of those documents, there may be requests for more.
Unfortunately.
Depending on what they see. But the point is you have to get them quickly. There's no time now with the new rules.
That's absolutely right. Because what TRID has done is shrink the timetable. So now we have to have figures to a borrower 7 to 10 days prior to the actual closing.
And that's new.
Correct.
So, folks, I'm just telling you, if you're getting into a real estate transaction, you need to know what's required. You need to know that all the contracts are driven by dates, and all of the information needs to be to the right people at the right time in order to get to the closing table with no problems, questions, issues. And that's what we're all about, is making the process simple and easy. So stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to talk to Knox about kind of some things that have happened recently, or some stories that he has about title insurance, another mystery of the real estate process. Title insurance, what is it? Why do I need it? Knox is going to tell you when we get back. So stay tuned. It's Damian Gerard, your host of the Gerard Realty Show, and we'll be right back.